Welcome to this Pride of Dakota feature. Quilting has been around for centuries, and it seems that more and more people are taking it up as a hobby or even starting their own businesses. One of the challenges that the average quilter faces is finishing the project because of the equipment needed. In this feature, we'll talk to Pride of Dakota member The Flying Needle about a service she offers that will help you put the finishing touches on your quilting project. The Flying Needle was officially formed by Diana Roloff in 2010 in Bismarck, North Dakota. Since 1996, Diana has been creating quilts, wall hangings, table runners, and more. Joining us in the studio is owner Diana Roloff. Diana, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So let's start with the process of quilting. There's really two stages to quilting, right?
Yes, the first stage is the quilt top, which is sewn by many individuals. And the second stage is where you have to sandwich the quilt together with the batting and the backing. And this is often cumbersome because of the size of the quilt.
Okay, so there's a lot of people out there making the quilt tops, right? And that just involves primarily sewing, right? I mean, you get some patterns, you go online, you buy patterns, or you buy patterns, or order them, or go to the quilt store.
Correct.
Okay, So pretty much anyone can do the sewing part.
And many people do. It's a fun process, like putting a puzzle together for many.
So as far as putting the rest of it together, what are the different layers that you have? You have the quilt top and then
the backing and then the batting, which is the center or the warm part of the quilt.
Okay. And then are those the pieces that they normally buy these, or are these things that they get from you?
The backing and the batting is normally bought in by the quilter. However, I do furnish the batting, which is the center part, if they need it.
Okay. And so how large is typically a quilt? So if you were working on it at home, I mean, you typically need what, just a sewing machine?
For the top, the sewing machine is fine, but when you get to the sandwiching of the quilt, which I'm talking maybe queen or king size, which could be up to 6 feet by 7 or 8 by 9 feet for a king, you need to have a long arm machine. At least it makes the project easier to put together. And this machine is approximately 12 feet long by about 6 feet wide. So you need a pretty large room besides a piece of equipment.
So that's the difference then between the hobbyist and yourself, is that, I mean, nobody's going to buy this 12-foot machine to put in their home just for a casual hobby.
Way too expensive and needs too much room.
Okay. So someone then, if they're in the process of making the quilt top, and they want to put the backing on, they contact you then, and what's the process of that?
A phone call and contact me, and we would discuss what sort of design they would like sewn on the quilt, what type of layers, whether they want a cotton or polyester center for the batting, and of course they need to have their backing ready and available to go.
Okay, so you're going to let them know how much of this material they're going to need, maybe where to get that information.
Yes.
So then when you talk about the patterns and designs, that's the stitching that puts everything together? That's where you put in the...
Correct. At this time, I only do the edge-to-edge continuous line stitching. Okay. So I have software that has the patterns already in it, and we would pick out a design that the customer likes and then do the edge-to-edge sewing across it. I don't do the custom yet.
Sure. Well, and you have some pre-made quilts available as well, too.
I have quite a few pre-made quilts. I have mostly queen and king size, which I'm very proud of, and these are available for sale.
So anyone that is in the process of making a quilt, or even just the quilt top, they already know the time invested in this is a lot, right?
It's approximately 40 to 60 hours to do a whole quilt.
Wow, that's quite an investment. And I always look at, when people give them away as gifts, it's like, well, that is really quite the gift that they've given away, because they've given away a large part of their time. And
that's
really,
their heart and soul.
It is their heart and soul, and it's going to be something that's going to last for generations.
Right.
I mean, I have quilts that my grandmothers gave me that we still have in the family today. So if someone wants to get started or have you finish a project for them, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Call me at 701-471-8860, and I have a email address, Flying Needle at biz.midco.net, and we are currently in the process of building a Facebook page
Perfect.
for the Flying Needle.
And then you're going to be able to put some photos on there and show people what the quilts look like and the pre-made ones.
Yes.
And then I understand you're also at quite a few of the Pride of Dakota shows as well.
Yes, really have enjoyed the Pride of Dakota shows.
Wonderful. Diana, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
For more information on this Pride of Dakota featured member, or to find other feature podcast episodes, visit our website at prideofdakota.com or join the conversation at facebook.com/prideofdakota.